Hey, everyone, welcome to today's podcast. We're talking about fun exercises for weight loss. It's possible, right? So, the more you exercise, the easier your weight loss becomes. But we're going to redefine what exercise is because we can't just look and define exercise by what is going to burn the most calories or burn the most muscle. And I think that's what people kind of subconsciously at least do, where they're looking for the most intense exercise so they can lose weight the fastest. But again, if you know me at all, you know I want to optimize towards long-term success. Exercises that you're not going to do intensely for a week or two, but exercises that you will do for the next year, decade, forever, because you enjoy them. So a lot of the exercises I'm going to talk about before I get into them, it's really more of a mindset shift of redefining what exercising is so that you start to move your body more, right? As opposed to just picking an exercise based on what's going to burn the most calories. You've got to stop doing that. You've got to take into account, we can't just look at what burns the most calories. We have to look at and realize the other side of that equation is how much I enjoy doing it. Because yeah, the most calories you can burn, I don't know, do 7 hours of cardio a day, right? I mean, there's a limit, right? You're not going to do that. And so half an hour of intense cardio, you may hate that. And if you hate doing it and you dread it with every cell of your being, stop trying to make yourself do that. Stop trying to build your weight loss success around things you hate doing, right? Especially when it comes to exercising. So what kind of exercises should you look for? What are the fun exercises I'm talking about? They're exercises that you enjoy. Now, I will tell you one kind of way I like looking at exercises that you're usually going to enjoy more than kind of the typical gym exercises are when you're doing an activity. And I'm starting to shift the word here from exercise to activity a bit, because I want you to think about things that burn calories, maybe even exercising, that has some context to it. And what I mean is, we can look at walking on a treadmill, stair stepping, lifting weights, these types of things. We're in a gym and it's like, people got to put music on. They're doing anything they can to distract themselves. They're watching TV, they're watching the news, anything. Why? Because it's so mindless and boring. And so some people like doing that. Great. But if you don't like doing that, like me, I can't stand that stuff. It's so boring to me. It's tedious. I can't get myself to do it. The alternative is you start finding things that have context to them, meaning yoga, martial arts, dancing, qigong, tai chi, yard work, there's just a million things that you can do that have more meaning to it than just moving your body. And I find for a lot of people, if they take a little bit of time and identify those things, then usually they've done these in the past and they've just forgotten about them. That's the most amazing part. And so often, again, when we frame exercise and we frame it, we don't realize we're doing this, but we're framing it as this thing we don't like to do. And again, it's the idea like, well, I want to burn the most calories possible, so I'm pick the most extreme thing and I hate doing it. I got to force myself to do it. That mindset's bullshit for long-term success and for the average person. So the alternative is, what do you like doing? Right? Going for a walk, dancing, taking a martial arts class that you used to take. There's so many ways to move your body where it's more interesting because there's things to learn, like dancing, right? There's steps to learn. So it's involving your brain. You're doing yoga, you're mindfully being aware of the movements you're making. You're doing Tai Chi, again, same thing. You're very mindful of your movements. So it's activating your brain as well. And so if you start looking for exercises, activities where you're moving, but you're moving in a way that also interests you mentally, or chores, right? I look at chores a lot of times as exercising. And I will intentionally, like if I'm cleaning the room, like I'll get the corners, I'm crouching down, I'm reaching up, I'm moving. Again, is that the equivalent of doing a stair stepper? No. But will I continue to do those things? Yes. And it's because I get not only the physical activity, but I also get the emotional, mental benefit of crossing things off the list. Things are clean now. I feel better. Dancing, martial arts, these things, you're getting better at something as you do it. So there's more incentive than just burning calories, right? Which is just very dry and difficult to stay motivated for the average person. So what are fun exercises? Well, it depends on the person. Okay. So what I want you to do is I want you to first think back over your life. What things have you done where you were moving your body? And we're starting with a very low baseline. So many people I work with, myself included, if I didn't do the things I do, I could just sit all day long. Like I could be extremely sedentary. So we have to stop letting the perfect be the enemy of the good and stop focusing on the exercises that burn the most calories and start to look for the activities and the exercises that burn more calories than you typically do. Okay, that's the metric we want to use. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be better than what you've been doing. and start to reflect on your life. What activities, what, sports, what different exercising things have you done that you actually enjoyed somewhat? Start there. And if you don't have any, start to explore things like I've said, things that have a little bit of context and meaning to them outside of just burning the calories. Okay. Because I think you're going to find that with that extra piece, that extra mental piece where you can improve at things and get better at things, which isn't to say you can't get, weightlifting is kind of a midpoint because you can get better at lifting weights and stuff, but it's basically about lifting weights. Cardio stuff, again, some people love it, great. But if you don't love it, I don't. It's so boring to me. It's tedious. And again, it's because you're just going in there and you just want your body to do something. You want to totally detach your mind and make your body do something and then kind of reconnect after it's over. And I find that a very boring, unenjoyable exercise to do. So I would much rather mow the lawn, do some yoga, go for a walk, do some martial arts, play some basketball. These are things I like doing. And it's way easier for me to look forward to them and want to do them regularly. And so that's my goal for you today, is to think about some things you can do where you move more. That's the line, because for a lot of people, moving more is a huge impact. And so remember this, to put your mind at ease. I know it's like, I just want to burn the most calories. I'm going to work out. To burn the most calories. But I want you to weigh it against, don't worry about how many calories you can burn this month. I want you to start thinking over a year. And if you start optimizing and orienting yourself to activities and movements that you enjoy doing and exercises, then you're going to do it consistently. So I want you to extend that time frame and realize, I'm not burning as many calories, shooting a basketball around as I would if I was on a Stairmaster, but I enjoy shooting the basketball. I could do this. I like doing this all the time. It's fun for me. And so I'm going to do it a lot more. And so there's that part of it, the physical part of doing it more and those, benefits accumulating. But the other piece, and this is such an important one, is the mindset piece of really, like, when you start to feel more active, when you start to move more, you transform yourself. Your body changes. It starts to work differently, better, more optimally. And when that happens, your mindset and identity start to shift. I'll give you, I started playing basketball again, the last year or two. And all of a sudden I'm just moving more in ways I used to when I was a kid. So I have that benefit, but I'm just moving more. I feel more active, and it helps redefine how I am from thinking of myself as a less sedentary person to a more active person. And so there's that mindset and identity shift that starts happening when you start becoming consistently more active and moving more, that helps you eat better because you start to develop a healthier identity and self-image. And that helps you with the food piece. So please understand that, because a lot of times when we use all of our willpower to get ourselves to exercise, we've now depleted our willpower. And a lot of times we end up going to the food. And so when we actually do activities and exercises that fulfill us, make us feel good, then we have the energy there to choose the right foods as well. Okay. So again, there's an extra benefit there that when we start feeling better about ourselves, more active, we start to transform that identity. We tend to make healthier decisions as well. And it makes everything else easier. And so don't forget that piece either. So that's your job here. Take a little bit of time and just write down 2 or 3 things. It doesn't have to be a million things. 2 or 3 things that are hobby-ish, that are movements, exercises, sports that you played in the past, things that you enjoy doing, and start doing some of those and notice the impact it has on you, not just physically, but also mentally and emotionally. Okay. If anyone has any questions, feel free to ask them. I will do what I can to answer them. How long have you been transitioning? Do you take hormones? Sean Slaughter. Yeah. So, I don't know. Where are we at here? Got a little bit of time here. I got a coaching call coming up. So if you have any questions about weight loss, feel free to ask them. I like talking about, the sports and the movement thing. I find it interesting. So it was another kind of idea on that point. And this happens, and you wouldn't believe it, right? I've done over 5,000 private weight loss sessions. So patterns reveal themselves that you never would have imagined, And so I'm going to get to your question, Mary Jo, in 1 second. And so one thing I want to mention is that you almost like to remember activities in sports, or just like things where you're moving more. To remember those in a weird way is harder than it sounds. Okay. And I don't know what this is. Again, from doing so many sessions, like once you let people off the hook that they don't have to go to the gym, the thing they hate doing, right? Once they don't have to go to the gym and you kind of relax them, they start to open up their mind to other things and remembering things they did. And it's weird because it's like there's this mental wall between the fun things they used to do. And so I think it's really, just give yourself a little bit of time. Put yourself in a good mood. Think back to when you were a kid, almost put yourself in that state and let the ideas come to you. But it takes a little bit of effort. So kind of relax first, put yourself in a good mood, and then think about things you could do that would feel better, and things that you would look forward to. That's kind of the litmus test. Could I look forward to that? That's kind of the goal. Have you heard of the Feel Great system? A little bit. I know. What is it? Is that a fiber supplement? Let me look it up. I'm not sure what it is. I've seen people on here kind of promoting that, and I've heard of it, but I get mixed up sometimes with all the different stuff. Let's see what it is. I feel like it was yeah. Okay. Yeah. I knew that insulin. What is it? Is it like a fiber type of thing? What is it? Brand new is one of the most convenient ones. Appetite super easy to use. All right. Oh, okay. Use it with intermittent fasting. All right. By consuming Unimate and balance every day, eating a specific time frame, your health and wellness journey can be made easy. Yeah. I don't know what it is. It's always bad when they don't tell you what it is. I don't know what. Oh, okay. It's okay. Yeah. It's the yerba mate drink, an extremely concentrated drink. Oh, it's so funny. I've been doing marketing for 25 years, and it is. I can see the bullshit from 10 miles away. So, I will tell you this. So okay. So I see you take these two supplements. Right. Let's put what it is. So it's a yerba mate drink and extremely concentrated drink. I love that, right? What does that mean? What's an extremely concentrated drink as a selling point mean, Yerba mate brings a blend of diverse and vital natural compounds from plants. Okay, so that the yerba mate helps improve your mood, enhance your mental clarity, and controls your it controls your appetite on that. I'm joking. I don't want to, I tend to not believe in any of this stuff. So that's my thoughts on that. I don't want to get too far into it because if you like it and it works for you, I say more power to you. I'm here to support people. I will, things I'm well versed in. I will talk about some of the things I think don't work with that. I would feel the Feel Great system. I'm not really understanding the point of it other than it sounds like hypnosis to me. It sounds like a lot of marketing and hypnosis to me. But anyways, I am on my weight loss lifestyle change from past experiences. Maintenance scares me. Help. Yeah, Mindy. That's why with Program Yourself Thin, we always start with maintenance, right? So right off the bat, I'll share this with you because I think this is a profound shift in thought, is that let go of the weight loss focus, right? Most people have a diet and mindset where the whole goal is I just want to lose weight. And I would suggest you change the goal of I just want to lose weight to I want to live at my goal weight for the rest of my life on near autopilot. And the whole process becomes about making that a reality. But by defining the goal as I want to live at my goal weight forever, do you hear that in and of itself is the maintenance? Do you see? So we're focusing on the maintenance because if you see like where you're starting with your weight up here, the weight loss is just a phase. Do you understand? Like the weight loss is just a phase, and then maybe it'll take you a couple months or a couple years, but then you're going to live the rest of your life at that weight. That's the goal, right? That's the plan, right? So if that's the plan, we should probably focus on the big goal and not just the little mini process that takes a little bit of time relative to living at your goal weight. So it's a mindset shift right from the beginning. And you do that by saying, I want to live at my goal weight forever. And that helps you to, right from day one, realize what the real goal is and prepare yourself to live at that weight. When you just focus on weight loss, you think of it as a short-term thing. I'm going to diet until I lose the weight. And what happens with that mindset is as that goal weight gets closer and you get closer to it, what ends up happening is you get more and more filled with anxiety because at no point in that process have you ever prepared yourself or even thought in the mindset of how do I live at my goal weight? How do I maintain this forever? Because all you do is you think a dieter thinks in this mindset, I just want to lose weight. I just want to lose weight. I just want to lose weight. And as they get close to that goal weight, yeah, they start freaking out because that internal doubt, I just want to lose weight. I just want to lose weight. I just want to lose weight. Well, you can't keep saying that. At some point you hit your goal weight. And now there's like this vacuum because you never, ever, never learn or practice or prepare yourself to live at your goal weight ever. All you think about is losing weight. And then as you get closer to that goal weight, you get filled with anxiety that you're going to put the weight back on because all you think about is losing weight. I hope that makes sense. I could go deep dive into this because this affects pretty much everyone. And I've done, you can see it on YouTube. I did a couple of these. I got to put this up. I did some coaching calls with people. I did them for free. And I was just like, okay, let me videotape and you could see it. And the two I did 3 of them so far, but 2 of them, one lady was 8 weeks into keto and intermittent fasting. She'd lost 20 pounds. And so you think she'd be thrilled, right? No, she was filled with anxiety that she wasn't going to be able to maintain it. So what you're saying is not unusual, but it's a consequence of having a dieting mindset that's only focused on losing weight. And so you never are preparing yourself for that maintenance phase, you know? So yeah. Brittany, I get in the groove of eating so well and then it never lasts and go back to square one over it. Yeah, Brittany, I get it. Again, that's that dieting. That's an extension of the dieting mindset. It's because it becomes, think about it this way, right? So your mindset's kind of like a Russian nesting doll of thoughts and ideas. And the outermost thought of a dieter's mindset is that it's temporary. I'm going to diet until I lose the weight. And that starts the problem off because as soon as you think it's temporary, you say, well, shit, I don't really like this. Let's just get over as fast as possible. And as soon as you think you want to get as fast as possible, then you choose the most extreme things typically. And so it becomes like your weight loss metaphorically becomes like a sprint. And when you run a sprint, perfection is the only thing that's going to let you win. You have to be absolutely perfect. If you trip a little bit, you lose the race. So a lot of people approach their weight loss like that. So when the mistake happens, it feels catastrophic, even though it's not a big deal. One mistake's never a big deal. A couple mistakes, never a big deal. It's always what you do afterwards. But people internalize it as this catastrophic, oh shit, I was doing so good. Because you're thinking in streaks, you're thinking in sprints. You're like, oh, I was doing so perfect. Oh, and then I blew it. So that feeling that you're describing is embedded in a dieter's mindset. Now, with the weight mastery mindset, right, we know there's going to be mistakes along the way, right? So we start with that. We start not trying to be perfect, right? Every diet you're starting 100% perfect. You start perfect, and you expect in your mind you're going to be perfect until you reach your goal. It's really weird, but that's what you expect. And so with Program Yourself Thin, like we don't do that. We start right where we're at, and we look to get 1% better. It's tomorrow, 1% better the next day. So we already assume there's going to be lots of mistakes, and we have a process to learn and grow from those mistakes, not freak out from them. And so sometimes we string together. So most people are all or nothing. What you're describing is all or nothing. And so in Program Yourself Thin, we work to be all or something. We're always doing something. But we have, again, there's a process to learn from mistakes, let them go, move forward, get better from it. And, and then we just keep moving forward. So it's not a big deal when we make a mistake. We already accepted. Let me put it in a different way that's just easier to understand. It's kind of like if you want to learn to play the piano, right? You've never played the piano, you want to learn to play it. The dieting mindset says, okay, I'm going to start playing 8 hours a day, and I want to be perfect when I do. I'm going to learn everything. I'm going to learn these songs. Everything's perfect. Well, obviously that sounds silly in that context, right? And so really what matters is if you want to play the piano, it's really about being consistent over time. And it's no different with weight loss. But if you think about it, like you have no way, you cannot even think about weight loss in that way. You've been so brainwashed by the diet mindset that you can't even think about weight loss in any other way. But if you approach it normally, where I'm going to keep getting better each and every day, I know I'm going to make some mistakes. I'm going to learn and grow from them. And I'm going to keep seeking to do better and better. Well, you'll have times when you start stringing together some great times, you get in the groove, great. And then I make a mistake, oh shit, okay. And then use your process. We do the redo technique. You say, okay, what happened there? What was going on? We learn from it, grow, move forward. So hope that helps. Mary Jo says the tool. Just wondered your opinion. Yeah, I don't know, Mary. It's like all these. To me, I use the same answer for all this stuff, and it's like people every day I get on here. People are like, oh, what do you think about Ozempic? What do you think about surgery? What do you think about whatever? It's always something, And to me, now this is just me, so you can take it or leave it. It's a big world out there. There's lots of different approaches, but to me, I believe in a holistic approach to weight mastery. I think people make a big mistake with their weight because they simplify it so much. They look at it like it's a bank account, like credits and debits, calories in, calories out. And I mean, on a very technical level, that's kind of true, but your mindset makes all that work. So in my world, there's 3 pillars of weight mastery, and I make the shape of a pyramid. Mindset's on the bottom, lifestyle's in the next level up, and then there's the eating strategies. And so I think you need all 3 of those. And I think the mindset's most important, then the lifestyle, and then the eating. And so the idea that some drink you'll take, that's obviously not going to change your mindset. It's not going to change your lifestyle. It's not going to change your eating much. It sounds like a lot of promises. So again, I don't even know what the promise is. I see a lot of marketing bullshit, but anyways, I'll look into it more and I will have a better answer for you next time we're in a live, because I will look into that. Mindy says, yes, such great thoughts. Thank you. Great mindset for me. That's awesome, Mindy. Good. I'm glad that helped. Yeah, I was trying to get on here. I mean, for those of you who know me, I get on here every day, pretty much every weekday. For me, this is really a mission for me. That's why I do. I made a commitment to do these lives, to do these podcasts. This is a podcast, by the way. Program Yourself Then is the name of the podcast. My name is Jim Katsoulis. You can see me on YouTube. Obviously, the TikTok is Program Yourself Then. And the program's called Program Yourself Then. So it's an 8-week weight mastery program. And in reality, it's a personal development program where it's really about becoming the best version of yourself. And one aspect of that is you at your weight you want to be at, looking the way you want. But there's a lot more to it. And the reason that is because you need more typically than just wanting to lose weight to get the results you want. Like just wanting to lose weight is typically not enough motivation. I know you're probably going to argue with me, but, if wanting to lose weight was enough motivation, don't you think you would have lost the weight? Right? I mean, could you think about your weight loss any more than you do? I don't think it's possible. And yet that hasn't turned into motivation and the results you want. So it might be worth to take a step back and say, maybe the way I'm going about things isn't working right. Does it say K Dill? Hey, K Dill, thanks. I appreciate that. I watch almost every day at work. That's great. And I think that's smart. I mean, so I'm a hypnotist is my main trade. I'm also, certified coach and yoga instructor, but hypnosis is really my main thing. And my main, hypnosis process I use is conversational hypnosis. So just listening to me, even on these podcasts or, in my different videos, I'm not just sharing information, because information is not enough. All right, folks, just knowing what to do is not enough. You understand that? It makes me crazy. I've been watching lately. I've been studying the semaglutide stuff, and these doctors, they're so smart, but I put all of them in the same category. I feel like most weight loss strategies out there, right? So we take all the diets, all the workout plans, all the weight loss philosophies, right? Take them all from doctors. So doctors talk about intermittent fasting and keto, workout programs, that we have, and all the different diets and diet philosophies. I put them all into one category. People telling you what you should do, right? And that's not enough, right? Because the main problem here isn't that you don't know what to do. It's that you can't get yourself to do it. I have not met a person yet who doesn't know enough about what they should and shouldn't do to lose weight. The problem is they can't get themselves to do it, And oh, that's awesome. Look at you, K Dill. All right. I watch and listen during my prep lunch break. Yep, Jim, makes sense. That's so great. I love that. So it's like, that's what I mean. Like, I have a coaching program, I got my business model is kind of like the Robin Hood model. You know what I mean? Like it costs a lot to work with me privately. I got a group program that I think is very reasonable. It's more than a lot of other weight loss, solutions, but then I give everything away for free. That's why I do all these all day. I answer your questions, and I'm even going to take another level where I'm going to start doing like live coaching calls with people, and I'm videotaping them and then what year is this? Recording them and then putting them up, for you all to watch. Which reminds me, so if you're on here and you haven't done this yet, go and get in my world, right? It's free. You can click the link in my bio on TikTok. You can go to programyourselfthen.com and you can get a free hypnosis session, right? It's a kickstart session. It's the new thin me. So it's designed to help you kind of clarify and connect to the ideal version of you, the body you want to be, how you want to feel, how you want to look, all those things. And it's a motivation session. And it's kind of fun because, usually people try and motivate themselves with pain, right? They I hate my body. Oh, I can't look this way. I hate how I look in that picture. And it's all this hate for themselves, you know? So it's nice to experience what pleasurable motivation can feel like. And that's what the hypnosis session is designed for, is to get you motivated, inspired, in a fun way, you know, because weight loss can be really fun. Weight mastery can be the most enjoyable, fun things you can ever do in your life. You know, that dieting mindset you have is just, it's what's keeping you stuck more than anything else. You know, like deep down, you may not believe this, but deep down, you want the weight loss to be hard. You do, because subconsciously you associate the harder it is with the faster results. And so you think you need to be really hungry. You think you need to feel a lot of deprivation and just fight against it. You feel like everything's got to be really hard and you just got to fight it. You're looking for a fight. I'm telling you, you are. And you're like programmed to just see that in the world. You know, we have a part of our brain called the reticular activation system, RAS for short. And basically what it does is it deletes out of our awareness what's not important and brings into our awareness what is. Because most of reality isn't important. And if we saw everything in reality, we go nuts, you know? Think of it like the tuner in your car. Your car radio is like the RAS system, because that antenna is getting all the radio stations, right? But if you heard all the stations at once, it's just, oh, it's too much. So what the radio station does is it tunes out all the stations except for the one you tune into, okay? So this part of your brain is like that. It tunes out all the bands of reality and aspects of reality that we don't believe in or you know, realize are possible, and brings into our awareness what we do believe is possible. And so when it comes to weight loss, you've been programmed to think like a dieter. And a dieter is someone who always thinks that they're going to be overweight and tries everything to try and lose weight. And you're looking for the hardest thing possible because you think that's what's going to give you the fastest, most dramatic results. And so a big part of what I do in programming yourself then is to calm you down and to start creating a mindset in you that this is easy. It's fun. It's enjoyable. When you change just a few things. What are the few things? Well, first off, why don't you give yourself some more fucking time? How about that? What's the rush? You're in such a rush. You know what I mean? Like, you're in such a rush to lose weight. If you look back over the last year, 5 years, 10 years, I bet you probably weigh the same or more. Your constant impatience and rushing is keeping you trapped. I say this every day. Is that not true? Tell me it's not true. Tell me. You know, so it's like, why don't you kind of calm down? Because, you know, what's the rush? Because what do you think happens when you just lose the weight? Like, what do you think? How long are you going to keep it off for? You know, I was like, oh, it's a never ending marathon. I feel so, well, what? How long you want to be thin and healthy for? Well, forever. Oh, okay. Well, so what do you think? You just lose the weight and then what? Just go back to how you were and you just stay thin? No, I don't understand that mindset. And again, literally, right? So I'm a hypnotist, take this or leave it, but I am a big believer that people are literally hypnotized by the diets. The diets have literally hypnotized you to think like a dieter, and you're stuck in that mindset. Like, just like it's an invisible mental prison you're stuck in. And you think weight loss is so difficult because you're stuck in that mental way of thinking about it. And if you kind of just relax a little bit and take a step back, and instead of looking for weight loss, look for weight mastery, well, now you can approach it like anything else you'd want to get really good at. And it's not rocket science. Okay, we go back to the piano. If you want to learn the piano, it's not rocket science. You just have to keep doing it and do it. You know, there's obviously strategy and there's right and wrong ways to learn and stuff. But ultimately, it comes down to just doing it consistently. There's no like starting the piano being perfect in a week or a month. There's just, you have to do it for a long time. And then you get better and better and better and better at it. Well, weight loss is no different. But think about it. You never think about weight loss like it's something you got to practice, which is the fucking weirdest thing. I can't think of anything else that's weirder in reality almost. You know, this idea, think about this. I think about this a lot. This is stuff that I can't go to sleep at night because I'm like, what? That's just crazy. But this idea, right, with dieting, that you're going to wake up one day, you're just going to, and it's a Monday, right? You're going to wake up one Monday and all of a sudden you're just going to not eat any carbs. All of a sudden you're not going to eat for 16 hours. All of a sudden you're just going to eat Mediterranean food or whatever, you know, whatever all of a sudden you're going to count all your points and they're all going to be perfect on the points. It doesn't matter. Pick your fucking, it doesn't matter. Pick your diet. And it's like this idea though, that you're going to wake up one day and then just do it perfectly. And why? Why would you do that? Has it ever happened? Maybe once or twice you were so motivated because you had your wedding coming up or some huge thing coming up. But it's like outside of that, when has it worked? It's just some Monday, all of a sudden you're just this totally different person. it's I don't know. Again, well, Tanisha did it. All right. Hey, great. Good job. Hey, listen, if you can do it, cool. Okay. I support you. I applaud you. Great. You're an outlier. Because most people can't. And what they keep doing, right? So that's saying the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and expecting a different result. And so if you've tried keto 20 times and it hasn't worked for you, maybe you should change up what you're doing. Is that, but Tanisha, I would love to interview you. Shoot me a link because I love to interview people. Okay, 30. Okay. 30 pounds down since January. That's great. That's awesome. And so, that's super. Now, again, I'm applauding your success so far. Okay. Now, why do I say so far? And don't take this the wrong way. Build up some toughness here because I'm going to come at you a little bit. You've got to stop. And I'm speaking to everyone else now. You've got to stop orienting your weight loss and what you're going to do based on how fast and how much people have lost in a short time. Okay. And you have to start looking at people that have lost weight and kept it off for 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, and ask them what they did. Okay. Again, Tanisha, I'm great job. Okay. In another 2 years, I would love to talk to you how you did it. Okay. But, and keep going. But I want anyone else who's looking to get started and looking to get going with this, please stop looking at people that they've lost 20 pounds. It's been 3 months. I lost 20 pounds. It's been 6 months. 6 months is great. Okay. But I want to get to a year, 2 years. That's what Program Yourself Thin's built on. That was the biggest shift for me is I began talking to people that had lost weight and kept it off for 2 years. Very quickly, it dawned on me, holy shit, they think completely different about food, about themselves, about health, about their lifestyle. It smacked me right in the face. I was like, wow. And so this is what you want to start doing, folks, because long-term success, like mastering your weight, is different than just losing weight in the short term. Okay. And I know what you want is long-term success. Okay. So they're just different. So, anyways, but good job, Tanisha. Yep. El Papel says, I'll have it later. Phrases helped me so much. Isn't that a great one? Right. I think that's so great. That was a great study. And so, Program Yourself Thin is really built around that. We have a 5-2 eating structure we follow. And so it's 5 days of clean eating, 2 days of pleasure eating. And it's built on that exact phrase because most of your eating pleasure comes down to dopamine. Do you know that you have more wiring in your brain for the anticipation of pleasure than the actual pleasure you get from actually eating? Because think about it, right? In the natural environment, you needed more motivation to get the food. So that's what dopamine does. You look forward to whatever you want to eat something, and it motivates seeking behavior. And once you have the food in front of you, it doesn't take much motivation to eat it. So it's fascinating, right? So again, that I'll have it later. That's been dialed into this 5-2 approach where it's easier to eat clean when you know the weekend or whatever your 2 days are going to be. You can look forward to those and you can eat that stuff because a lot of the pleasure you get out of food is the anticipation of it. Really important, but that's great. Yeah, it's a great phrase. I love that one. Candia says self-medicating with bad carbs after a family crisis gained 10 kilograms. Nice input. Thanks. Yeah, I get it, Candia. Here's what I would say to this. And then this goes to all emotional eating and again, this goes back to the dieting thing because the dieting thing, like dieters have one tool at their disposal or willpower. It's not enough. And so emotional eating in general, what people try to do is just try and fight it. I got to stop emotional eating. And what we want to learn to do is to understand the emotional eating because we always do think for a positive intention. Okay. And so even if we're overeating, we're binging, we say, oh God, what's wrong with it? Why am I being such a bad person? Well, no, because subconsciously it's doing something positive. We don't do things for negative reasons. We do things for positive reasons and they have negative effects, but we do things in the moment for a positive reason. And so when we're emotionally eating, you want to start to understand it. Why am I emotionally eating? Well, maybe I'm lonely. Maybe I'm stressed out. Maybe I'm depressed. Maybe whatever, it could be maybe I'm celebrating. We want to start to understand what emotions am I looking for? We're either looking to feel an emotion or protect ourselves from some shitty emotion we don't want to feel. And the more we understand what the emotions are, then we can start to ask the magic question is, well, let's just say I'm eating because I'm lonely. Oh, I'll go with yours. I'm self-medicating after a family crisis. I'm stressed out. I'm scared maybe. Okay. And I'm looking for comfort. I'm looking for peace of mind. I'm looking for a break from this. Once you identify what you're looking for, now you can start asking the question, how can I take a break from this anxiety or this stress in a way that doesn't involve food? Magic question. Now, I'm not saying you have the answer right now, but you're not asking that question. And as you keep thinking about that, you will come up with ideas. I go for a walk, I can sit in a hot tub, I can take a hot shower, read a book. I don't know. There's different things. But when you don't just get rid of the emotional eating because it's serving a positive purpose, find the positive purpose it's serving and then ask the question, how can I get that same positive feeling or purpose that it's doing in a way that doesn't involve food? And when you find one or two answers to that, it changes everything. Because again, what people try and do, like, let's just say they use food for relaxation. They come home at night, they're exhausted, they're tired, stressed out, and they sit in front of the TV and eat because it's relaxing. It's how they relax. It's their main relaxation strategy. And so they say, that's it. Fuck the emotional eating. I'm done with it. And they get rid of the emotional eating, but they also got rid of their relaxation technique, right? So now they're 3 days into it. They haven't been eating. They're proud of themselves for not eating, but they're ready to kill someone because they haven't relaxed. Do you see? So again, what we want to do is, it's a lot easier when you stop the eating to relax, but you do something else in its place. And so now, yes, you got rid of the food, and that is what it is for a little while, but now you feel relaxed and calm. I hope that makes sense. And so, and I'm sorry about your family crisis as well. So, but look for real, genuine ways to deal with it. Forgive yourself, because again, you just do the best choice you had, which was just to eat, to self-medicate. But ask yourself the question, how could I medicate myself in other ways that doesn't involve food? And that answer is gonna be important. K-8, nice. Yeah. Good job, guys. Tanisha says, yay, I'm fasting 12 to 8, free on the weekend. Hey, that's great. That's a great strategy. Love that. And by the way, so I will say this to Tanisha, because I don't want to sound like I'm negative. I'm not negative. You understand that, I hope. What I want you to do, though, to make this last, is I want you to start shifting your mindset. Enjoy the weight loss. It's fun. But watch out for this, because a lot of times what happens is, thanks for that little gummy bear? I love myself some gummy bears. Sometimes with weight loss, people will trade the pleasure of the food for the pleasure of the scale going down. And once the scale stops going down, they're like, what am I looking forward to now? Just be careful of that. And so enjoy your weight loss, but in the back of your mind, say, am I doing this in a way that feels comfortable with me? I love hearing the fasting for a couple of days and then free on the weekend. I love that. Again, that's like the 5-2 model we do in Program Yourself Then. And I find there's so much psychology packed into that strategy. So I'm glad to hear it, because it's balanced, and so that sounds like something you could keep up forever. So great job. But start thinking that way, okay? Because you've got 6 months is wonderful. And so start, in your mind at least, start transitioning a bit to the maintenance. Could I live this way forever? Yes or no. Okay, let me optimize this so I could live with it forever. Okay, I want you to think about that. I'm doing a food diary, calorie deficit, and walking and changing my mindset. Yeah, that's great. Great. I love that. See, K-8, that I love stuff like that, because it's a holistic approach. This is why I say, people say, Ozempic. What do you think of Ozempic? It's like, you tell me, folks, how long y'all been thinking about weight loss? You tell me one time, one example of one magic cure for weight loss working. Give me one example, just one. All I want is one. Your whole life that you know about weight loss. Give me one medicine, one diet, one exercise piece of equipment, one surgery, one intervention that works. Simple, like one, And so what we all know, I think, is that you need to really, people say, I need a lifestyle change, I need a mindset change. Then those are just buzzwords. They don't really know what they mean. Like again, Program Yourself Then, we got the mindset piece. It's 6 categories. There's workbooks. It's a 60-page workbook. It's a fill in the blank workbook where you come up with your own weight mastery blueprints, because you need to customize it to yourself. But it's your mindset, lifestyle, eating. And the mindset, 6 categories. The lifestyle is 8 habits you're looking to install. The eating's got its structures to it. So it's important that I don't know how you would ever truly live as a thin person unless you had a comprehensive approach to it. And so, yeah, food diary, calorie deficit, walking, changing the mindset. That's where we want to be towards that. Great job. Kenya says, willpower is not enough. Understanding emotional eating is important. No blame, learn things. Yeah. Super. That's great. Yeah, it's really understanding it. I can't do cardio because of my right knee, but I'm doing heavy weights. Great job. Nodding. That's awesome. Will do. Thanks. Yep. Great job. I feel like this time is different. Jim is right mindset than lifestyle and food. Yeah. That's great. Yeah. If you internalize that, that's the key thing. Okay. So Tanisha said, that's where I'm at. I've been the same way for 2 weeks. So listen, anytime you hit a plateau, I think a great way to approach it is to say, okay, I'm going to practice my maintenance now. Because when we hit plateaus, we don't know if it's our body kind of adjusting to what's going on and then we'll just start losing weight again. Or if we maintain and we get to focus on the maintenance. So let's say we hit a plateau. So the first thing I'm thinking is, okay, my body just needs to adjust. I'm just going to maintain the same thing. Let my body adjust. I'll start losing weight. But then I'm also thinking I want to practice my maintenance. If how I'm doing this is so difficult that without weight loss, I get completely discouraged, that's a huge red flag. I've been at the same weight for 30 years. I had one little blip about 12 years ago, but it's the same weight. Why? Because I love the way that I'm living and eating. I love it. I want to, like, I'll say I'm going to eat the same way for the next 100 years, but I know I just keep optimizing and making it better. Okay. But it's like every day I get better. So like, I'm addicted to that. I love it. So you hear that? That's that mindset piece. So you want to set yourself up so that it's always interesting. You're always getting better. You need that. Your brain and body need to look forward to something. And the fucking food, I could talk about food marketing all day long, but one of the main things the marketing of food is doing these days is that they're always hyping up the new thing, new flavor, new crunchiness, new saltiness, new natural ingredients. It's always like one thing. They're always trying, oh, it's new. Oh, it's something different. I haven't tried that. And that's just appealing to us as humans. And so we have to take that and do it ourselves. And so again, the process program itself is 1% better, 1% better today, 1% tomorrow, 1% better the next day. And it's that constant and never ending improvement. And it's exciting because you just keep getting better, 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 better. So when you hit a plateau, the focus goes on to, let me really optimize my maintenance. Let me optimize what I'm doing to make it easier, to make it more effective. And so we maintain. And then after a couple of weeks, a month or so, if you're not losing weight, then you can look at what you're doing because you've solidified it and optimized it. And you can say, okay, I need to cut some more calories out or burn some more calories. Now you can strategically say, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to strategically tweak that down, and then move forward. I hope that makes sense. The scale stopped moving. Okay. So I just told you that, right? So yeah, remember that's your opportunity to start practicing maintenance, because at some point the scale stops moving. And so if that scale stops moving and your motivations go, that's a gut check. Okay. Especially if you're 30 pounds down, now's the time to start. Let me wait. The way I'm doing this, is this comfortable? Okay. Make sure you do that. Very important, because there is nothing worse than losing the weight and putting all that work in and then putting the weight back on. All my clients, that's where they've been. And the problem with that, it's worse than what most people do is they start the diet, they stick with it a day or two, and then they stop and they never get results. But what's way worse than that is when you stick with it and you get results and then you put the weight back on. Most people can only handle that a couple times, and then it becomes devastating. And they start to associate dieting, even if I'm successful, I'm failing. And that is like the kiss of death. Then it's very difficult to get yourself started. And that's where most of my clients end up coming to me, because they're thinking about weight loss all day long, but they can't get themselves to like take any action to start anything. And a big part of that is because, again, they've succeeded and put the weight back on, and now they just equate it with failure. So just make sure that only pleasurable awareness works. Yep. I cut a tuna sandwich in quarters and ate a quarter every 1.5 hours. Oh, that's a good one. I like that. Yeah, that's pretty good. I never gain weight to the point of obesity after having lost it, but sometimes I go up about 10 pounds. Yeah, I mean, it's different for each person. But weight fluctuations are natural. I think I mentioned before, like, I've been the same way for 30 years. I dropped 50 pounds. I've been the same way for 30 years. But there was a blip about 12 years ago. It's when my son was born. We moved into a new house that we redid the whole thing. I'm running my business. It was just an exhausting time. My son wasn't a good sleeper. I was exhausted. And during that time, I put almost 25 pounds on. And so I did drop some of the weight. But during that time, I realized I was tired, having a baby and all that stuff. It was a lot. And I recognized that, though. And I adjusted my goal weight and I moved it up by 10 pounds, because it's not to say I couldn't have kept it at where it was, but I didn't. It would have been so much effort, And so again, there's a deeper point here, that your goal weight really, you can't put your goal weight in a vacuum. And this is what a lot of people do. They just pick a goal weight. Like, oh, that's what I weighed when I was 18. That's what I weighed when I got married. Oh, that's what I should weigh. And it's like, they just pick this number and they don't take into account, well, hey, guess what? You got to eat and live a certain way to achieve that weight. And so a lot of people are choosing a weight where they'd have to be really restrict on the calories, and they're not going to do it. And so what's the point of choosing a weight that you're not willing to live and eat that way to achieve? it creates this incongruence. And a lot of people are stuck just right there. So choosing a goal weight in and of itself is an art and a science. You need to have a congruent goal weight that really means something. And that's the key word, is give it meaning. Because a lot of people's weight, I'll give you the basic, I talk about this all the time, but the worst, this person was the new winner of this. But I said, what's your goal weight? And they told me what it was. And I said, okay, when's the last time you weighed that? And they go, when I was 12 years old. I was like, what? It was a grown woman. And I was like, wow, what grade were you in? She's like 7th grade. And I said, well, you want to weigh what you weighed when you were 7th grade? When 12 years old? Like really? You could see it on her face. She was like, it was a processing. She'd never thought of it that way. She's just been, robotically saying blah, 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 X pounds, X pounds, X pounds, X pounds. And a lot of people do this. You're just like a robot, just saying the same weight. And if any meaning there now, the meaning is it's failure, right? You've been saying the same weight for 40 years and you're never getting close to it. Well, you know what I mean? Like, you don't even believe it anymore. So I always say you should at least change your goal weight by at least a pound, just so it's a different number. I know it sounds silly, but it's like that. The number you've been saying for 20 years that you haven't achieved just means nothing now, except for failure and apathy, So anyways, but understanding your goal, the goal weight, I'll give you the shorthand version of it. I think that the way to choose the best goal weight is the weight that'll give you the best quality of life. And to understand which weight's going to give you the best quality of life, you have to take into account, well, there's the weight I'm choosing, but there's also the way I have to live and eat in order to achieve that weight. And for a lot of people, that means they got to raise their goal weight probably a little bit, because they're not willing to live, which is another way to say, I don't want to weigh that in a roundabout way. And that's where a lot of people are at. You'll hear me say all the time, you don't want to lose weight. You don't want to be at your goal weight. You really don't. You weigh what you want, by the way. Trust me when I tell you weigh what you want subconsciously, right? And that's that's probably the most valuable thing I've said the whole time, is that you weigh what you want subconsciously. We all do, because you control your in 99% of the cases, people, some physical thing that's stopping them. Sure. There's always outliers, but most of us, come on, it comes down to how we're eating and how we're living. It is 99% of our weight, and we have control over that. And so it's like, why do you do things that, right? All you do is think about weight loss, but then you keep doing things that keep you overweight. But here's an interesting thing too. For most people, I find this fascinating. And I hope you find this fascinating too, because I know you never think of it this way. But don't you find it interesting that you obsessively think about your weight? And yet if you look at your weight, it pretty much stays the same. It might go up a couple pounds over the years, but it pretty much stays the same. It's almost like there's this subconscious thermostat just controlling your weight, right? Now, some people say, oh, that's the weight set point. It's a physical thing. I don't think that is true. I think there is a weight set point, but I think it's mental, and I think it's your self-image. I think if you're overweight and you've been overweight for a while, the primary reason is because you think of yourself as an overweight person. You may not like the weight. You may not like being overweight, but you can't disagree that you're familiar with it. You're familiar with how to get by in the world, your relationships, being overweight. And if you're familiar with it, that means you're comfortable with it. And changing into all of a sudden being this thin, healthy version of you is disruptive. It's disorienting. You never think about this because you say, oh, weight loss, good. Well, if weight loss was so great, wouldn't everyone just lose weight? And on top of that, once they lost the weight, wouldn't they keep it off? There's more to it, folks. And I say this not that I don't want to sound condescending. I say it because you're flummoxed, right? You can't understand why you think about weight loss all the time. You're not losing any. You can't understand why you lost the weight. Now you put it back on, right? You're just like, what the fuck? You're just, right? You're a smart, intelligent person. You're like, I don't get it, And that's what I've been helping people with for 20 years, professionally, is what's going on there? Because no one talks about this, right? Everyone's telling you what to do, and no one shows you how to actually get yourself to do it. No one. Like, I ask this every day. I say, who out there, who are you going to learn about how to change your mindset to lose weight? Who? I ask this every day. If you know anyone, please write it in the things. I'll go study them. I had to create this stuff. I've been doing this for 30 years personally, 20 years professionally. I've done over 5,000 private weight loss sessions. I read 50 books a year. I'm obsessed with this. I had to create my own system, because where are you going to learn about who's teaching about mindset for weight loss? Who's teaching you how to actually change your behaviors, your habits, your thoughts, how you feel, how you're living? Who's doing that? What am I going to sit here? I always say this, like, I could just write a book about what I eat all day. Oh, here's my diet, but why would I do that? No one's going to follow it. All the diets work if you follow them to the letter. Problem is you can't follow them. So it's like, that's the important part. So I want to just make this, I got to get out of here in a minute. But if you're not in my world, get in my world. Okay. And you can do it easily. It's free. And so click the link in my bio, go get that hypnosis session. And once you sign up for that, it takes a couple minutes to process, and I'll send you an email to link to it. But then I bring you to a page where you can watch this training I put together, 3 steps to master your weight. You ought to watch it. Okay. It's a completely different paradigm for you to master your weight. It's free. And then every day I email you supporting coaching emails. I used to charge for it. It was a program. I just give them to you. Okay. It'll help you. And I got some new stuff coming down the pike that I just tell my email people about, like coaching stuff and some cool things. So get in there. It's all free. Of course I have a program. If you're really serious and you really if you want to work with me directly, I have a coaching program, and 8 weeks long, and it's phenomenal. You can go to programyourselfthin.com and learn about it. You can sign up for the session there as well. TikTok, you can just go to my bio and read it. Optimized maintenance. I like it. Yeah, it's a good one too, right? When it's comfortable. What if it's comfortable? Should I go back to uncomfortable? Oh, great question, Tanisha. Here's what I do. And I learned this from yoga. In yoga, let's just say we're doing a forward bend, right? Let's just say here, it says, oh, that kind of hurt. That's too much. It's too much. And what happens when it's too much? When I push myself too hard, my muscles get tight. I stop breathing. Okay. So with yoga, we're looking for that sweet spot where it starts, oh, it's starting to feel too much. It's starting to feel, okay, let's stay there. Let's ease off a bit. Let's relax. Okay. Calm down. I can breathe again. Okay. Now let's relax and we'll fold into it. Okay. And so that was one of the first things I learned from yoga. It was so amazing. Is like when I used to do the forward bend, I push, and I realized I was like wicked tight, like all my muscles, right? Not breathing. And so yoga, what I learned is relax into it, And so I relax my muscles. I breathe. I find that spot and I'd ease off just 10%, get my wits together, be able to relax, breathe. And then the muscles start loosening up. And then look at this. This will start happening. I said, holy shit. Guess what? You know what leads to relaxation or to flexibility is relaxing the muscles. I'm like, and it sounds like so obvious, right? But that was like so huge to me. So I do the same thing with the maintenance, right? It's like, I push myself. I'm like, oh, this is uncomfortable. It's too uncomfortable. I don't want to live like this. Let's ease it off. Where's that sweet spot? You see what I'm saying? So that's what we're playing with. So yeah, make it a little uncomfortable. Again, I like to make myself 1% uncomfortable every day. I will get 1%, but I'll push myself a little bit each and every day though, and that's the deal. Like 365% at the end of the year. No, it's exponential because every day improves on the days before, So yeah, that's what you want to do. Yep. Thank you so much for your content. It takes time, but you're really helping me. Yeah, that's right. It takes time. I wish there was a, but it's the most worthwhile, valuable thing you can do. Right. And so, yeah, I appreciate you saying that. How to change your mindset. That's a great question, Bobby. I got to get out of here. Oh, what's up, Don? I got to get out of here, but I got a coaching call coming up. So again, go check out Program Yourself Thin. If you're looking for a real solution to mastering your weight, like a real comprehensive system, go check out programyourselfthin.com. We got coaching calls every Tuesday and Thursday where I literally work with you, But I got to get out of here. I got one of those coaching calls coming up now. Sorry, everyone. Have a super day. We'll talk soon. Bye.